Okay, so I'm hoping that this is very helpful for you. When you open up Propresenter, you're going to see a page that looks like the one right here. And on the left, you're going to see the library, the playlist, and then the items. You're going to go first to the playlist template. You're going to right click, and when you right click, you're going to click duplicate. And it should give you two playlist templates at this point. You're going to right click again and click rename and name it the date of the service. I started typing out the word, but it really needed to have the numbers. Okay, and I usually pull up the bulletin and I pull up Planning Center in different tabs so that I can use those to guide what I need to do next. So it's best if you have several screens, that's even better, but at church I only have one screen, so I just put them in different tabs and I look at that. Okay, while we're waiting for the date to come up, I have it on very slow mode so that it doesn't go, the video is not faster than my talking because the two things did not happen at the same time. Okay, the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to make sure you're clicked on the date for the service, and you will see the template is already there in the order that our service happens. So you don't have to change any of that. That's already there in the order our service happens. Okay, I'm just doing a pretend. I didn't have the bulletin at this point when I made this, so I just am doing a pretend one. And I need to find the songs that are in the bulletin. So I'm going to go up and I'm going to click default at the top left. And when I click default on the top left, you'll see there's a library of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of things. There's songs, there are verses, there are pictures, all sorts of different things. So we're going to say that the first song on our bulletin was All My Hope. So I'm going to click on it and then I'm going to right click it. And when I right click it, it's going to pop up with a menu. And at the very top of that menu, it says Add To. I'm going to click that, and then I'm going to click the date that I am working with, which is 7/27/25. Then I'm going to go to the next song. And the next song I'm going to scroll down till I find the next song. And the next song that I have chosen is, let's see, I don't remember exactly what I chose, to be quite honest. Oh, I chose Chainbreaker, I guess. So again, I'm going to right click, Add To, and then I'm going to click the date that I'm working on. I'm going to continue to add the songs that I know we are going to be singing, and the next song I add is Days of Elijah. Look at this good choices I got going on here. Right click, Add To, the date we're working on. The next song that I am going to add is, let's see, it's like a surprise. We just don't even know what it's going to be. What is it going to be? Get all excited. Right click, Add To, the date I'm working with. And then we usually have one more song. So let's see what I choose for this one more song. God Will Make a Way. This would be our invitation song. Right click, add to the date we're working with. Okay, now you're going to go back up to the playlist and you're going to choose the date you're working with. This one is 7/27/25. So you're going to click on that date. And you'll notice in the bottom or in the side left, you'll see all of the songs that you've added at the bottom of the template. So now you just click on them and you move them where they need to go. So All My Hope will be moved to it actually goes after the first welcome. And then we're going to move Chain Breaker to after the welcome and wave. Then we will move Days of Elijah to after Chain Breaker. Clearly my songs were not in a great order because we wouldn't usually do Get All Excited after the prayer, but today we are. So put that below the prayer. And then you're going to move God Will Make a Way below the sermon title. And actually, it will not be below the sermon title, it will be below the scriptures, but for right now, you're going to move it below the sermon title. Okay, go back up to, well, now you can see I'm showing you that it's all in the order it needs to be in. All of the songs are where they need to be. Click on Show at the very top. It's the play button. We have All My Hope selected. Or we have it grayed. We need to go click it again and we will in just a moment. You can scroll up in this spot if you need to move up. And I will continue doing the announcements. That's the announcement thing. I'll continue putting those in there. I also will continue putting the verses in that go with the sermon or verses that go with the topic, not necessarily the sermon, but the topic. And here you see All My Hope is in there below the welcome. Now, at this point, we need to choose a theme. So there are, I don't know how many themes in the library of themes, but choose a theme. That was last week's theme. You're going to click on the little arrow above that picture. Oh, that's not what I did. Sorry, how about I do that again? You're going to click on the theme. So on that one, I clicked the green piece for the theme. And then this is really important. Go over where the title is. Look where the cursor is. Go to that third place. And it's going to drop down the groups and the song order. We're going to go to the one that says Singable Larry. It may be something different. It may say verse chorus WCBC, something like that. But this one, the arrangement that we use has already been put in there as Singable Larry, as lots of them have. So now it is ready to go. We're going to stop there for just a second. Okay, I said we're going to stop, but we're really not. I stopped to add a different recording. Okay, so next we are going to go to Chain Breaker. You're going to click on the three little dots. You can do this either first or the theme first, but either way. And look, we're going to go down to Singable Larry. And it's put it in the order and arrangement that we sing. Now I'm going down to back to Chain Breaker. Make sure that that is blue. Make sure it's blue when you add your theme. And it's really best to keep the same theme throughout the entire service, because otherwise it starts to look a little janky, and we don't want that. Now we're going to Days of Elijah. We're going to make sure we've clicked on it. and it's blue over here on the left. Oops, I lost my spot, so just hang on just a minute. Oh dear. And give me a minute because now I don't know where I am. Okay, so Days of Elijah, we have put our arrangement as we should. Now, I'm going to show you on this one, when you go to theme, I'm going to show you where you find all the different themes. So on this one, when you click that arrow back to the left, it's going to give you hundreds of themes that you can use on your presentation. And they're already arranged and set with the correct size of the font, the correct placement. And to start with, this is probably just easiest to use these instead of trying to make some. I will do a video at some point on how to make them and all of that, but for right now, I would just suggest that you just use one that's already in there. And let's see, what did I decide to use on this one? Also, you might want to turn on the projectors and make sure it looks that it's visible and it looks good on the screen, because sometimes, well, not sometimes, what you see on your computer screen is going to be very different from what is actually on the projected screens. It's the coloring and it's our poor projectors. So those are all the themes that we have in there at this time. So I'm picking Winter Journey just to show you. I picked it and I just click on that and it changes all of those to winter theme. Now, we do have a glitch. I want you to see that on slide 2 there's a problem. And the way we know that is there is a triangle, a yellow triangle with an exclamation point in it. This error tells me that the words are too big for the slide. So we're going to have to adjust for that. And what we're going to do is we're going to go up to Edit at the top, and it's going to show each slide on the left. And when we get there, we're going to go to slide 2 because that was the one that had the arrow, or had the error, sorry, with the triangle. And we are going to get that. And we can see that the word restored is being cut off on the bottom. So the easiest way to do this is to click after a phrase. We're going to go with Moses. And then click, so I've got my cursor there, then you're going to click Control Enter. Control Enter, at least on a PC. I'm not sure about a Mac, but on a PC you're going to click Control Enter. If it's a Mac, I'll try to find out what that is. So Control Enter, and it moves those extra words to another slide. I'm going to go back to Show at the top, and now you can see there are no error pictures on there. Then we have our prayer, and you're going to want to make sure that for the prayer you change the theme for that to whatever your theme is. Be very careful. As you can see right here on the left, I do not have it marked in blue on the left. And if I click theme, it could change something else. But I'm going to click on prayer and it will turn blue, and then I will add that theme to it. Now I don't know why it scrolled down here, so just ignore that. Oh, I know why, because no, I don't know why. I forgot Get All Excited. Okay, so Get All Excited, we're going to click on the three little things there. We're going to go over here. We're going to choose chorus only because that's what we're doing for this piece. Click on chorus only. Then I'm going to make sure I choose the theme. So make sure it's blue when I go to the theme. I'm going to click on the theme. Now remember, we did two separate themes just so I could show you how to get that. And but typically you're only going to want to use one theme for the entire service. And again, I'm showing you that there are multiple themes that you can choose from. And there's some that are more applicable to months or holidays than, and then there's some that are just plain colors. So we're going to use the Graves into Gardens theme. Click on that. And now we have that one ready to go. Then I didn't change the sermon title on here because it can't be done 2 weeks ahead. Template, some things can't be changed on the template except every week. So I didn't want to change it because we were about to have service when I recorded this. And if I were to change it, it would change it for today's service because it is part of the template. So the title we change every week. Then I'm going to go to God Will Make a Way. And I will do the same thing that we've done for the previous things. Go up to the top. Oh, look, we have an error on that one. We're going to have to fix it in just a minute. So we're going to go over here. We're going to click Chorus. And when we click Chorus, it got rid of the error because it was on a verse. And now we have them there. It's coming. Okay. Then again, I will do the announcements for each week. I'll make sure they are in there. If I'm not going to be there for some reason, I will I'll make sure that somehow y'all know about what needs to go in there. And they just come from the bottom where it says, when you look at the very bottom and it says default used weekly, this week's announcements, that's where I'm getting them from, and I'm dragging them into that space. And that space is what is shown when someone is giving the announcements. Then the deacons of the week, it changes every week. And to see you next week always stays there. It's called Coffee Please. I can change the deacons of the week whenever I put the announcements in. Not a problem. But I do need to make sure that what you use for your theme is in the theme folder, because that is also the first slide on our announcements that rotate as in a kiosk format before the service. So please make sure that if you, your theme will have to be in there, but I just need to be able to access it so that I can make sure that the welcome is in the same theme and that the verses are in the same or similar theme. And that on the left where it says this week's announcements, that's where most of the announcements for the week can be found, although some are in different places just because we use them over and over and over. We leave the announcements about who we support up there. Occasionally we have just a motivational saying like that one that says, had a long week, hang in there, God is with you every step of the way. And then I just put it over that. I also highlight a church family every week. So or every month. This month it's been Cheryl and Butch because he is one of our deacons. The verses play 5 minutes before the service starts. Actually, it plays from 10:39 to 10:44, and they go with the theme of the service. Now, don't worry so much about this part. I do have to put them in for the calendar. I guess let me show you in case something happens to me, but when I go in there, it has to be the week of the service. You can't do it 2 weeks in advance. So I would change the date. I would change the start time. I'd leave the start time at 10:39, but then I would change the ending date and I would change it to 10:44. Then on the action, you have to go in and choose the playlist that you're working with and the item that you're working with. So the item I'm working with is called Verses, and you can see that when you click on it. You don't have to worry about that. I will do it, but you know now how to do it. if you need to. I create the verses in Canva and I'm sorry, yeah, Canvas, Canva, Canva. I never can remember which one it is. I create them in Canva and then I import them in. Okay, next we've got when you are in here, you're going to make sure that the Welcome to Walnut Creek Baptist Church is also in the same theme, but again, you can't do it in advance. It has to be done the day of. So at this point, I'm just kind of scrolling through to make sure everything looks right. And then let me show you. Well, I'm still scrolling through, making sure everything, there are no yellow triangles on anything, and they are all ready to go. Okay. So everything looks good. And if I need, you cannot see it because the screen is too big, but if I need to import something, I'm going to go to File, Import. So let's say I need to import a song. I'm going to go File, Import, Song Select by CCLI. And I will click on it. When I do, this little box pops open. And I will type in the title of the song. And I put in Still I Will Praise You, but I know that that's not in CCLI, so it was just as an example to show. And these are the songs that pop up when I do that. It takes it just a minute, and it usually does take it a minute. So let's pretend that it is a different one than it is. We know it's not that one, but when I click on it, it's going to pop up with a little box to the right, and it's going to give me the words so I can look and see, is this the correct song? And let's see if I recorded it showing the song. I'm looking because you kind of need to look and see who the authors, the composer and the lyricist are, just to make sure to see if it's in there or it's not in there. So I'm going to click on that. Nope, I'm not going to click on that. I thought I was going to click on it. Oh, let me click on this one. Okay, I look over and I'm like, oh, those are the words of the song I'm looking for. I know I put in a different title. This is just an example. And I would click Import. So let's pretend those are the words I'm looking for. Now I'm going to import them. Oh, I guess I've decided I wasn't going to do that because I didn't want to make it even more confusing. I'm really, I recorded this on Sunday, the screen, and now I'm recording the voice on Thursday, so there's no telling what my brain was thinking completely. But you import it in, and when you import it in, leave the top two things the same, okay? Leave the size the same. You can change the theme here. You can put it in the theme that you're going to be using it in. So you can push the theme button there. And then it's going to go in the default library, and the playlist is going to be, if we're singing it for the Sunday of July 27th, we're going to do playlist July 27th. Now, here's what you need to know. If you do this at home and you don't add it to the one at church, we're not going to be able to use that song in church. So if you are working on this at home, my suggestion would be to come early on Sunday morning to import the song into Propresenter on the church computer, because we don't have two seats. We only have one seat, and the program that you use at home is more of a you can put all of this in, and you can import most of it in, but it's a demo type program. To add the scripture for Sunday, you're going to go to Bible. At the top, you'll type in the scripture that you're looking for. Make sure you spell it right. So I'm putting in Genesis 1 through 5. Okay. Then I'm going to click enter and it's going to pop up. You're going to click options to make sure it is in the theme that you want it to be, because it's most likely in the theme from last week. Don't change any of the things that are toggled there, but make sure you do have it on the correct theme. This also will need to be done at the church computer, not at home, because we pay for ESV and the ESV is not free. It's not a free Bible. So unless you want to pay for the Bible at home, this part will need to be done at church. And then you're going to go to the bottom where it says Save As. Click on that. Save to Playlist. Click on that and then choose the date of the service that you are adding it to. So we're going to put it on July 27th, 25. Going to click on that. And it's going to add the scripture to wherever you were last on that playlist. So then you just click on it and you drag it down to after the sermon title. Now usually what happens is Sunday morning Shane will add more scripture and he sends it in a text group, and whoever is at the computer in a timely manner will add that scripture to Propresenter. So there is a likelihood that I would be there for the extra scripture because I'll be adding in the announcements. And then when you show, it will be there, and you'll go back and you can see everything there. Now I didn't show you how to make an arrangement of a song. Let's just get through this part first, a couple of weeks of this, and then if you decide you want to do a song that is not in Propresenter, I will do a video showing you how to create an arrangement of a song. Okay, I do a run through to make sure everything is exactly like it needs to look, because we want it to be right. And it looks like it is all correct. I also want to make sure there are no error triangles on any of the slides. And let's see. Looks like everything looks good. And we are good to go. Okay, let me show you how to export and import. So you're going to go up to File, Export Playlist. Click Yes. This was the hard part for me. For some reason I couldn't seem to get it named right. But you know, that's just the way things go. So name it with the date and name it without slashes, and with the correct date, because you know it's going to tell you slashes don't work, and I forgot. I always forget. I don't know why. So make it a valid name. 07 27 25. Okay, save it, and then you're going to do, when you get to the church, you'll do File, Import, File. You're going to click open the thing that you exported, whatever it was, and most likely you're going to have to write over things. So you're going to apply to all, but only if, and I'm just showing you this, only write over it if you have absolutely everything that's in the church computer. Okay, so default, we're going to put it in the default library, and then now we have that playlist in there. So that should help you with the basics. Any questions, let me know. I'll help you out. Bye-bye.